as Luke. How'd that feel out there, and what do you feel like you guys showed passing the ball?
Yeah, it was fun. Fun to get back out there. Always fun to be out there week one. Be out there. We practice in the stadium a lot with no fans, and to be out there against an opponent with the students out there was really, really cool to be out there with your brothers who you've been training with since January. And a team that has I think a chip on their shoulder. I'm excited to put some things on display, but obviously did some good things, but a lot to clean up as well. Some details early in the game, and had some things go on, but overall had a lot of fun.
What'd you think of the way you guys threw the ball around?
I felt confident out there. I thought I saw everything well, and came off my hand pretty well. And I feel like the details of the route details, the receivers, they were, they were on their P's and Q's. So looking forward to just growing from week one into week two, and excited to get back to work and display some other things too. So looking forward to it.
I think it was 10 or 11 different guys caught at least one pass. Did you feel like that's something this team can do maybe consistently?
Yeah, I'm not surprised by that at all. I think through all of my media sessions, I've talked about so many different receivers that are going to make their mark, and each one of them, and I have so much confidence in because of what they've shown, throughout the winter, spring, summer, fall, and when they get the ball in their hand, they each can do something different so well. So so glad all those guys are on our team, and excited to keep growing those connections.
Look, after the way the Kansas game went a year ago, are you happy to see on the schedule this year?
Absolutely. It's always good to have a rematch game, whether you come off a win or a loss of it. So, some familiar faces on that side, and, kind of, got a bad taste in our mouth, from last year. So looking forward to, next Saturday to be able to go put some things on display and to go light it up.
Did you get a taste of them during the camp? Did you get a taste of them during campus?
Yeah, I think they're, whatever team, like throughout the country, you kind of, later in camp, you kind of game plan for some looks that you'll see in the season. So, obviously we prepare for Eastern Illinois looks and Kansas looks and things like that. So, been thinking about it for a long time. Didn't look past Eastern Illinois at all, but that's always been the back of our mind, and excited to go play next Saturday.
How the coach to player communication system go? Was that pretty smooth?
It was good. I was a little bit nervous going into it because through the scrimmages, the emotions are still there in scrimmages too, and sometimes in the huddle, the longer play calls, sometimes you forget them, and I was worried about going into it, especially with all the environment and fans, forgetting some of the longer play calls in the huddle. But it was really clean, really confident with it. It went out a couple times. I think on the long touchdown to Malik, it went out, and so I had to look at the signal. But it was fun. I loved it. It was really cool.
You talked about having an explosive offense. What did you think about Brian and Elsie today?
I thought they did great. It was super cool to see Pat get in the end zone twice. The kids work so hard, and obviously our team captain. So for him to be in the zone twice is no surprise to anybody. And looking forward to getting him the ball a lot more, and to see Malik catch a long one too. Even before that too, making a couple guys miss and creating an explosive was really cool to see. I know it's going to help his confidence and only going to help him moving forward. But even some other guys like Sakari, the ball didn't find him as much, tonight. But throughout the game, I was like, you got the next one for sure. After coming off a scoring series, and it's just sometimes the way things shake out, and it wasn't because he wasn't open or things like that. It's just some of the schemes were designed at specific moments to go a certain place. So. Looking forward to all those guys, doing some cool things this year.
Compared to a year ago, how much more comfortable do you feel compared to a year ago today?
Yeah, I just think I'm mentally and spiritually in a new place. My confidence is so set, and I'm realizing and becoming so aware of the gifts and talents that God has given me, and ultimately, while I'm out there, I just want to thank Him with my play and how hard I play, and my leadership. So, my vision and my perspective is a little bit different this year, and a lot different, and I'm looking forward to keep playing with that same perspective moving forward.
Did you think? I know Barry has put you and Brucey in a lot of responsibility roles this year. How did the communications you feel like?
Really good for a week one execution. In a game day environment, I thought it was nearly. I can't think of any issues really. So there were some checks to be made and things like that, and that's new to us this year with him checking things and me checking things, and there wasn't an issue really at all I can think of. We'll go back and watch it and see, but it's good to hear his voice. I'm asking him a lot of what he sees, and and he's asking me a lot, vice versa. So he's great up there. You know, the way he communicates, the way he leads those guys, his football knowledge is, you know, off the charts. So to have him up there is, you know, incredible to say the least.
Did you think Zai blocked for you particularly well tonight?
Yes, sir. He's I wore this for the walk, and you know, I want to do something that really highlights those guys up front. And so each week you'll see somebody new. But I went with Zai, you know, first Mississippi guy. You know, we're super close, so tight, and I love that dude to death. And you know, so glad to be out there playing with him. And you know, I know he's excited just to go play. You know, his last ride, I think. So had a lot of fun with him out there.
Luke, what's that do for you as a quarterback when you have a number of receiving options? And then, like, it's the second part to that, when you relied so heavily on 3 guys a year ago, like, what was your process of building trust with those guys throughout the offseason to kind of do what you did today?
Yeah, I think one is just, you know, whoever's out there, they're going to be fresh. You know, we're not going to, you know, tax a guy, you know, throughout a drive, because we can just bring somebody else in who does something so well, something so different to attack a defense. So it gives me confidence knowing that, you know, those guys are going to be fresh and know their details and, you know, be right, you know, mentally to be able to execute. And, it was so cool to see some guys like Colin Dixon and Kanari out there and Hank and, like I said, Malik Ashton made a big explosive play. It's like you can just list them off, and you know, I think for their confidence to be able to do some things tonight is only going to shoot through the roof, and I know they're excited for Saturday.
What can this passing offense be?
I think, like I said, explosive. You know, with my new perspective, my new confidence that I feel like I have, and guys returning like Pat, and you know, some vets like Zakari who's done it for so long, and like I said, just our depth in general. I think, you know, we have every opportunity to go really do some really cool things, like I've said, and you know, it starts with me and up front and stuff like that, and I'm, you know, the utmost confidence in, you know, all 11 of us out there.
You mentioned got his first snaps tonight. How big is that for him just to get in there, Donovan?
Oh, it was so cool. You know, to see him out there, I was so excited to watch him go out there. I remember my first snap ever in college football, my first completion, and that's something you never forget. And I know he'll cherish those moments forever. And I mean, frankly, he did really, really, really well. And I know if something were to happen and he were to go in, he would, you know, take this offense and run with it. You know, he's prepared throughout the last 3 years, and we have a really tight relationship, and love that dude to death, and so excited for him.
Pat just said you're trusting him to go up and get it more this season. Like, what's that look like for you, and why do you have that trust in him?
Yeah, I think I have so much trust in him because of the confidence that he brings to our building every single day. Like, you know, I don't think there's a defensive back, a corner that he would line up against and, you know, feel a certain type of way about. He knows he can go win against anybody, and so with me knowing that, you know, I know he's going to be detailed in everything he does, and you know, like tonight he went up and got one, so that only helps my confidence even more with him. And you know, like I said, he's a captain, so, and rightfully so. So he's gonna be a big role in, you know, what we do moving forward, and really excited for him.
You mentioned Kansas being ranked. One more after this. Not that much to this game coming up. Is that another layer of things to think about?
No, I don't think so at all. You know, they're gonna run out there with 11 guys. We're gonna run out there with 11 guys, and it'll be a big game. But just excited to go, you know, kind of just focus on us, I think, more than anything. And if, you know, we execute our details and techniques and alignments, assignments, you know, we'll be in a good spot to go do what we want to do.
I mean, you mentioned the mental and spiritual progress. To see that, like, yield results right away in week 1, I mean, how exciting is that, and looking at the whole season?
Yeah, week 1, you know, there's always some nerves and, you know, some different anxieties. You know, there's a little voice, you know, back in the back of your mind, you know, trying to tell you lies, the enemy. And you know, I was so equipped going into this week with the tools that I've learned and the tools I've been, you know, learning just throughout the off season to go out there on the field, whether it was a high moment or a low moment. Man, I was going to be even out there because I know who my Creator is. I know the gifts that He's given me, and you know, I know what He's called me to do. So looking forward to, you know, the next 11 weeks of play to go keep putting that on display.